Well, what are some of the best roller coasters in the entire world? Well, I'm gonna give you the 20 best in my opinion, and I have promised you guys to make this video, and I'm gonna make it a possibility right now, right here. After 4 months of busy work in the real world, I'm back on the channel, so go. Now, it has been hard to rank these 20 different roller coasters because they are all 10 out of 10, so it could be a mixed bag right here. So let's get into this video. Now, coming in at spot number 20, we got the Legend at Holiday World in America, the US of A. And well, you might ask, where's the Voyage? Yeah, it's right underneath the Legend because it's an airtime filled wooden coaster of a machine, but the Legend is quite different. It feels a bit more aggressive in my opinion, and those lateral G-forces in those turns are crazy. I don't really think I've ever tried a roller coaster with those insane lateral G-forces on the Legend. It feels out of control and insane, and that's why I've placed it a bit higher than the Voyage. Yeah, that might be controversial, but it's my opinion. Yeah. Well, the Legend also feels a bit aggressive in terms of intensity because it's a bit bumpy and shaky because it's a huge wooden roller coaster. That first drop is amazing with the twist, the tunnels are great, flying in and over all those different water coasters, you know, water slides. It's just awesome. Traveling through the woods, holy moly, hell yeah. Now, coming in at spot number 19, we got Alpine Fury at Canada's Wonderland in, well, Canada, of course. Spoiler alert, I do think Alpine Fury is the best roller coaster at Canada's Wonderland, but there's one big problem about this roller coaster for tall and big people like me, and that is the restraint system. It really digs down in my thighs and it feels unpleasant, sadly enough. But after that, that inverted dragon roll top hat thingy out of the mountain is insane, punchy and whippy, and the rest of the elements are smooth, fast, and it's filled with a bit of airtime, but it's mainly those insane inversions that really creates a unique roller coaster experience. And coming in at spot number 18, we got Zadra at Energylandia, located in Poland. This was actually my first RMC roller coaster experience, and funny enough, for many people it is one of the best RMC coasters out there in the entire world, but when I visited back in 2022, it didn't really feel that strong in terms of intensity, speed and airtime, which I hoped. Now, my experience on Zadra could be a slowed down version because of the wheels, because I have heard from my brother that the roller coaster ran way better when he visited a second time, so I might be a bit biased. Now, coming in at spot number 17, we got Conda at Walibi, Belgium, in Belgium, of course. And Conda is just Intamin's take on an RMC roller coaster filled with many different airtime moments, which is awesome because I love airtime. You can really see on Conda's layout that Intamin has gotten a lot of inspiration from RMC roller coasters. We got many different outer bank airtime moments, the small whippy ones in the end, and those big sustained ejector airtime moments, which is awesome. But the roller coaster can feel a bit repetitive after you have ridden it approximately 5 times plus. Well, coming in at spot number 16, we got Tortadis at Parc Asterix in France. Now, I must say those next generation Intamin roller coasters are really insane yet awesome in the best way possible, and Tortadis features a lot more variety compared to Conda, so that's why the roller coaster is above. Well, it makes sense for me. Now, the best moments on this roller coaster is first of all the swing launch section with the stalls and airtime moment in the middle, and after a lackluster big top hat element, you got a pacey roller coaster experience with a lot of variety with stalls, whippy inversions and airtime moments. Ooh, coming in at spot number 15, we got Shambhala at Port Aventura in Spain. I have visited this place a couple of times now, and Shambhala was actually my first B&M Hyper roller coaster, but it is still the best B&M Hyper roller coaster in the world in my opinion. First of all, the roller coaster is just so huge and it features that lengthy train designed by B&M. But after that, the roller coaster experience is filled with those iconic big camelback moments, but they are just filled with insane flowjector airtime. I know I can't say flowjector, but the airtime is just so sustained and strong. The first airtime hill feels like a 7-second floater hill in the front row with strong airtime. And you also got one of the best turnaround moments on a B&M hypercoaster with sustained positive G-forces, and the rest of the layout is just awesome. Flying over the park with sustained airtime, and it's strong airtime. Yeah, move on, man. Coming in at spot number 14, we got Wildcat's Revenge at Hershey Park in the United States of America. When Hershey Park first revealed this roller coaster, I thought, well, it looks like a mid-tier RMC roller coaster, but when I finally rode this roller coaster back in 2024, well, I was quite surprised, even though it was a half rainy day, you know, but I still got a lot of rides on this roller coaster, approximately 6 rides in the back, front and middle row. Without going into details, I think Wildcat's Revenge is awesome. The pacing keeps getting better and better, the elements are snappier, whippier throughout the layout, and the inversions are just awesome. So, well, what can I say? Great RMC as always. And coming in at spot number 13, we got Hyperion at Energylandia in Poland. And Hyperion is really a huge roller coaster. It is actually the tallest roller coaster with a lift hill in Europe. And well, this does not disappoint you. First of all, that big airtime moment after an amazing first drop is filled with strong sustained airtime. Well, this ride is just filled with insane moments. You also got a huge dive loopy thing filled with laterals and strong airtime. It feels out of control, and what I really like about Hyperion is that it mixes low to the ground, whippy, fast-paced moments with those big moments as you know it with the first drop. And you have, what can I say, blah 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 blah. The only con for this coaster is actually those wing seats. They can feel a bit more rattly and intense. Now coming in at spot number 12, we got Schwur at Hansapark in Germany. What can I say, this might be one of the most unique roller coasters in the world. For me, it actually looks like one of the scariest because we got that huge roller coaster hidden inside that big tower. And well, now spoiler alert, Schwur is the biggest and most ambitious roller coaster created by Gerstlauer, and it features that vertical, very scary lift hill where you got that huge drop tower element, and after that you go down this huge twisted vertical first drop and into an insane roller coaster element. Yeah, that non-inverting sea serpent roll looks quite ugly for the eyes in my opinion, but the rest of the roller coaster layout is a big mix between whippy, insane moments and those low to the ground, speedy moments. Schwur is just peak roller coaster right here combined with storytelling. But I must not forget to tell you about the Gerstlauer rattle. It can feel a bit shaky and intense. Well, coming in at spot number 11, we got Hyperia at Thorpe Park in England. Hell yeah. Now, I haven't really been up to date with roller coaster news, but I have heard that this roller coaster is a bit more reliable now. And well, the only thing you can say about this roller coaster is amazing element, world class, but the ride is just a bit too short. But Hyperia still offers the most insane first drop in the entire world. You got this 180-degree snappy twist combined with a vertical drop, and it's 200 feet plus. What can I say? On top of that, you have the most insane out-of-body experience with this, I don't know what to call it, out-of-bank airtime moment combined with some sort of roll, downward spiral roll. It's just insane and filled with airtime and hang time. That right there might be the craziest element in the entire world of roller coasters if you ask me. So for me, Hyperia is still a 10 out of 10 ride, even though it's quite short. Oh, coming in at spot number 10, we got Maverick at Cedar Point in USA. Maverick for me is just that crazy uncle at the dinner party, because even though the roller coaster is quite old, it's still the first so-called intimate blitz coaster with those LSM launches. It's quite small in terms of height, but it packs a strong punch with those different launches, beyond vertical drop at the start, and whippy elements throughout the whole ride experience. Well, technically that first launch is just a lift hill moment, but you know what I mean. This roller coaster is punchy, filled with great elements, whippy moments, fast pacing, and a lengthy coaster layout, but those stangle dives in the end are just crazy. Holy moly, the punch on this roller coaster is insane. And even though you got those big bulky over the shoulder restraints, the ride is still okay, because it feels like this roller coaster needs those restraints. Just imagine a lap bar. I feel like those stangle dives will break your body then. And coming in at spot number 9, we got Untamed at Walibi Holland in, well, the Netherlands. I must say there is a reason why we call this the mini steel vengeance. Untamed is a mid-sized RMC, but it still has a very lengthy coaster layout, filled with many airtime moments, and every airtime moment is filled with ejector airtime. On top of that, you also have 5 different yet unique inversions on this ride, and well, that big element with the double inverting G-stall, I don't know what to call it, is just the best moment on Untamed. You just float throughout the whole element right here. When we visited Walibi Holland back in 2022, I think we got around 20 to 25 rides on Untamed. It is just that awesome. Now coming in at spot number 8, we got Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland de Panne in Belgium. And Ride to Happiness might be called Ride to Insanity in my own head, because well, the only happiness you can get right here is for the roller coaster nerds, because this roller coaster is insane, intense, and filled with awesome moments. In terms of elements, this roller coaster has everything from hang time filled moments, awesome launches, insane ejector airtime on top hat elements, and whippy inversions, and this is all mixed in with a crazy spinning roller coaster train design. It's just complete insanity. And that final section is complete insanity. You got an awesome launch with an airtime hump, and you got that double inverting snake dive moment, which is just out of control. One of the best moments in the entire world, at least top 5 or top 3 in my opinion. Oh, coming in at spot number 7, we got Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion in USA, and sadly I did not get to ride Pantherian, but oh well, I got another awesome roller coaster right here. Twisted Timbers, I actually thought that Untamed was better on paper. I was a bit biased, but then I rode this roller coaster on a hot summer day. Holy moly, this ride is insane. Hazy, filled with strong, intense ejector airtime throughout the whole ride experience. I can't even breathe while I tell you about this roller coaster because it's just insane, almost too intense in terms of airtime. This is really what RMC is known for, insane ejector airtime with small outer banks and just airtime hill after airtime hill. And you also got that crazy downwards barrel roll off a start. So Twisted Timbers might be one of the strongest RMC coasters in the world in terms of negative G-forces. Well, coming in at spot number 6, we got Air Force 1 at Fun Spot Atlanta in the USA yet again. Now this ride is yet another coaster credit I got from my big America summer trip this year, and this coaster just has an awesome design with the white, you got the blue and red that symbolizes America. Hell yeah, and this roller coaster is just insane. Hell yeah on top of that, because you got that awesome Raven Thrust dive, great stall element outer bank moment, and after that an even crazier second half filled with strong ejector airtime moments, whippy barrel roll inversion, strong positive G-forces, and one of the most insane endings on a roller coaster, because that might be one of the strongest airtime moments, those 4 consecutive small airtime humps. These 4 small consecutive airtime humps might offer the most insane airtime in the whole world in terms of roller coasters, and it is not as sustained as Twisted Timbers airtime, but Air Force 1 just offers a lot more variety. Now coming in at spot number 5, we got Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point in the United States of America. Oh well, all of us roller coaster nerds know Steel Vengeance. This coaster offers the most airtime in the whole world, and that first section with a great first drop and 2 consecutive huge camelback hills might be the best section on any coaster in the world. Well, you might even wonder, how does Steel Vengeance really reach the end of the roller coaster layout, because it's that lengthy and filled with so many moments with a lot of airtime. You almost got 30 seconds of airtime where your bum leaves the seat, and those moments are awesome. They are not the world's best, of course, because it's so lengthy, but they are still great, and combined with a little here and there, you got the inversion, you got the barrel roll, and you got that whippy stall. Holy shit, that's a neck breaker. Yeah, I can say that this is actually my friend's favorite roller coaster after he rode it once in the front row. Wow, coming in at spot number 4, we got Fury 325 at Carowinds in the United States of America yet again. As you can see, Fury 325 was actually one of the most surprising roller coasters of my America trip. I didn't really know this roller coaster felt that fast. I couldn't even close my eyes in the front row. Now I can't really say anything bad about Fury 325. This B&M monster feels smooth, fast, insane, whippy, just an awesome overall ride experience. Holy moly, that's what I always say, because it also mixes in those airtime moments in the end, and they are not just great, they are amazing. Now I still don't understand how smooth Fury 325 is because it's 11 years old and a huge roller coaster standing 325 feet / 99 meters, and I had the perfect weather condition when I visited this park. It was very steaming hot and people kept puking when they rode. They kept puking all over the place when they rode this ride, so we had to wait a bit because yeah, that's quite disgusting. Oh, just cracking the top 3 spot, we got Voltron at Europa Park in Germany, and Voltron just offers the complete package in terms of ride experience right here. You got an awesome lengthy roller coaster layout, and it's of course combined with this beautiful theming and heavily immersive queue line, and that is typical Europa Park. Their budget is just endless. Oh, speaking of endless, this roller coaster layout is just very lengthy. You have 2 very big sections where you have a lot of different elements. I could talk about this roller coaster forever. You have punchy launches, insane airtime moments, hang time moments, very RMC inspired elements such as the stall and outer bank moments. Well, you have this middle section where you have this effect where you got the turntable and a backwards launch, swing launch section, and then you go up into another insane element. This roller coaster keeps going on and on and on. It's intense, crazy, filled with punchy elements. You can't really say anything else. Voltron is just world class. Oh well, I have heard some people say this coaster is kind of rough, but I can't really feel anything because compared to Gerslauer's, this is just a dream. Now coming in at spot number 2, we got Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure in the United States of America. Now the only thing that makes Velocicoaster better than Voltron in my opinion are those restraints on Velocicoaster. They are way better. Intamin's lap bar restraints are just insane. Perhaps the best lap bar restraints in the entire industry if you ask me. But with that being said, Velocicoaster is just yet again world class. A heavily themed roller coaster experience with universal standards of course. Another endless budget machine right here, filled with punchy launches, whippy elements, a lot of variety, and when that second launch hit you, holy moly, you go up into that crazy top hat filled with a lot of ejector if you sit in the front or back. It really depends. And after that you got a speedy roller coaster design with awesome inversions, and yeah, that insane roll in the end, the best inversion in the world, period. What I really like about this coaster is that the coaster train is very lengthy, so you get a completely different ride experience if you sit in the back row compared to the front row, but the front row is just a tad better in my opinion. But still, the variety in this roller coaster is insane. I think we rode this roller coaster back in 2022. I think we got it around 20 times. Hell yeah. So what is the best roller coaster in the world in my opinion? Well, that is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa in the United States of America. Hell yeah. Yeah, I know you could say I chose roller coaster layout and intensity over a heavily themed storytelling ride for the number 1 spot right here, but I still think Iron Gwazi is just the most intense coaster in the world. Well, if you ask me, I still think there's a decent amount of space between Steel Vengeance, Satra and this ride. Now hear me out, every element on Iron Gwazi just feels different. It feels faster and a bit more intense in terms of negative G-forces compared to the other ones. This is just a roller coaster that keeps on giving, and you don't really have no mid-course brake run. It just keeps going and going. One very important thing right here is that Iron Gwazi warms up, so give it some hours. It's very important. You also have that crazy whippy death roll, especially in the back row. An insane whippy wave turn. You got the traditional stall on RMCs. It keeps on giving and giving till you finally hit that brake run with a lot of speed. You can really feel that. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the 20 best roller coasters I've ever tried in the entire world. And as you know, if you look at the list, I have not been to California yet, and I haven't really been to Asia, so sorry for that. Now, if you really felt like this video was entertaining, please consider hitting that like button or perhaps the subscription button. That would be awesome. Hell yeah. Oh, one more thing. At the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.